Hi, hello, good morning students. Welcome back. Today we will see the making of national movement, chapter number 10 from history, 1870s to 1947, part 2. Okay, let's have a small recap of what we studied in part 1. We studied about the formation of Indian National Congress in the year 1885, important leaders, then the two important groups within the Congress, that is the extremists as well as the moderates. First of all, the moderates, they are very prominent till up to 20 years, and afterwards the radicals or the extremists, they became very important or prominent in Indian history. The important moderate leaders were Gopal Krishna Gokhale, then Dadabhai Naoroji, etc. Their demands were very moderate, or their demands were very, appealing, very moderate, in the form of requests, prayers, or you can say writing letters, or thereby they wanted to convince the government because they think that the British rule were just. Whereas the extremists were completely opposite to that, especially three important leaders. They were Bal Lal Pal, and they were just against to the thinking of the moderate leaders, and that's why they decided that independent or Swaraj can be achieved only through hartals or through demonstrations, through other means. And that is why Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he gave the call, or he gave the call, yes, Swaraj is my birthright, isn't it? And all these things we studied in part 1, and today we will see something more about the making of national movement in part 2. Before that, as I told you, I have missed one slide in part 1 that I have included now. See, starting point may be very, casually it starts. When opposition forced the government to withdraw bill, the Indians enraged. So how the Indian National Congress were formed, that was what we have missed in our previous slide. The Indian National Congress was established with the 72 delegates from all over the country, met at Bombay in December 1885. The early leadership, Dadabhai Naoroji, Firoz Shah Mehta, Badruddin Tyabji, then B.C. Banerjee, Surendranath Banerjee, Ramesh Chandra Dutt, S. Subramanya Iyer, along with others, they were largely from Bombay and Calcutta. They were the so-called the moderate leaders. Naoroji, a businessman and a publicist. What is the meaning of publicist? Someone who publishes an idea by circulating information or writing reports. Settled in London for a long time, as a member of the British Parliament, and guided the young nationalist. So afterwards we have also seen the images of Dadabhai Naoroji as well as A.O. Hume in our previous PPT. So now let's move on to today's topic. The partition of Bengal, as you know very well, it happened in the year 1905 by Lord Curzon or Viceroy Curzon. Infuriated, means gussa dilaya, people all over India. All sections of Congress and moderates and the radicals, as they may be called, opposed to it. That means 1905, the partition of Bengal was opposed by all sections of the people, whether they are the moderates, whether they are the extremists or the radicals. Large public meetings and demonstrations were organized, and novel methods of mass protest developed. That is, mass protest in the form of hartal. The struggle that unfolded came to be known as Swadeshi movement, and strongest in Bengal, but with the echoes everywhere. Echo मतलब प्रतिध्वनि बोलते हैं या वापस उसका इफेक्ट. Echoes everywhere too. It was known as Vande Mataram movement. So Swadeshi movement, either you can call it as Swadeshi movement or Vande Mataram movement. The Swadeshi movement sought to oppose British rule and encourage the ideas of self-help, Swadeshi enterprise, and national education and the use of Indian languages. Everything is Swadeshi, so ban of Videshi goods. Now also we are emphasizing more on local for vocal. So like that you can say that giving more importance to Swadeshi made items than the foreign goods, or thereby boycotting the foreign goods. Let's now move on to the further. The Congress split in 1907. The moderate were opposed to the use of boycott. They felt that it involved the use of force. So in the year 1907, as we have seen in the modules also, there was split in the Congress. Okay, moderates and the extremists, they were separated. So the moderates were against to the बॉयकॉट. सो उनको बॉयकॉट के लिए वो खिलाफ थे, उसको किसी चीज का विरोध करना उनके लिए अच्छा नहीं लगता था. आफ्टर द स्प्लिट ऑफ कांग्रेस, आफ्टर द स्प्लिट, the Congress came to be dominated by the moderates, with Tilak's followers functioning from outside. So when there is split within the Congress, the moderate, they became dominant, and the extremists under the leadership of Tilak, they started working from outside. The two groups reunited in December 1915, and the next year the Congress and the Muslim League signed the historic Lucknow Pact and decided to work together for representative government in the country. Yes, we have also seen that Muslim League and the Congress people, they realized that if we separate, if we split within the group, then the movement, national movement for attaining independence would be difficult. So that's why they decided to work together, and that is the reason that they signed Lucknow Pact. Now, the growth of mass nationalism. Mass means including all people. After 1919, the struggle against British rule gradually became a mass movement. Earlier it was limited to few people only, few educated elite people. Now it has started expanding and has become a mass movement involving peasants, tribals, students and women in large number, and occasionally factory workers as well. That means you can say all sections of people, they involved in a movement against the British rule. Certain business groups too began to actively support the Congress in 1920s. The First World War altered मतलब एक आपको क्या, एक घंटी, आपको एक चेतावनी देना, ऐसा altered मतलब यहाँ पर क्या होता है कि इट आपको पूरा उल्टा पुल्टा करना, that is called alteration, you know that, altered. The First World War happened in the year 1914 and ended in the year 1918. So it altered the economic and political situation in India. So पूरा situation को उल्टा पुल्टा करता है. It led to a huge rise in the defense expenditure of the government of India. So war in England, or I can say war, First World War in Europe, whereas expenditure of Indians increased, especially in military, because this Indian military was used by the British in the First World War. So that's why large fund is diverted on the military expenditure. It led to a huge rise in the defense expenditure of the government of India. पूरा उसका खर्चा defense expenditure of India के ऊपर आया. The government in turn increased taxes on individual income and business profit. So whenever the government got burden, government wanted to relieve it through levying taxes on people, that is to peasants, businessmen, and also on the common people, isn't it? अभी भी ऐसे होता है कि टैक्स का बर्डन और एक से खर्चा ज़्यादा होता है तो वो खर्चा बेयर करने को हमें ही मिलता है. वी आर पेइंग इन द फॉर्म ऑफ टैक्सेस हमारा इंक्रीज होता है तो गवर्नमेंट को उसको फंड आता है और वो फंड से वो अपना खर्चा को बैलेंस करता है. अभी लेकिन एक ही रीज़न था कि खर्चा अगर भला इंडियंस अगर उठा भी लेंगे बट किसके लिए? They are now doing the expenditure for the British, because British or the England was involved in First World War, not India. But Indians were being ruled by the British, so British whatever they wanted to say, they were ruling us, and as a support we have to, or I can say the British used the Indian funds to satisfy their demands in England. Increased military expenditure and the demands for war supplies led to a sharp rise in the prices, which created great difficulties for common people. Yes, everything price rise. सभी चीज़ों के ज़रूरत चीज़ों का price अपने आप बढ़ गया, including the taxes. On the other hand, business groups reaped fabulous profit. Reaped मतलब उनको बहुत earned the fabulous profit from the war. The war created a demand for industrial goods and caused a decline of import from other countries into India. So Indian industries expanded during the war. Whereas, as I told you, the business people, those who have established their industries and all, they started earning huge profit. Why? For two reasons. One, because of war, the demand for the industrial goods increased in India, and secondly, or I can say previously, we used to import everything from outside or from Europe to India. All necessary things we used to import from the European countries into India. Now the import is stopped due to war. So अपने आप को जब आपको खुद डिमांड को सप्लाई को पूरी करनी हो तो आपको क्या करना पड़ा और उसको खुद उत्पादन करना पड़ा, उसको आपको तैयारी करनी पड़ी. एंड ऑब्वियसली द इंडियन इंडस्ट्रीज एक्सपांडेड एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट इंडियन बिजनेस पीपल दे स्टार्टेड अर्निंग फैबुलस प्रॉफिट्स. देन Indian business groups began to demand greater opportunities for development. बहुत ज़्यादा development हो गया और opportunity उनको मिल गया. The war also led to the British expand their army. Villagers were pressurized to supply soldiers for an alien cause. Alien मतलब कोई दूसरे के लिए. So this now started demanding, the British now started demanding for more and more soldiers. And who are the soldiers? Finally कोई भी नहीं है तो fighting के लिए villagers भी चलेगा. And villagers को fight करना पड़ा ब्रिटिश के लिए फॉर एन एलियन कॉज. हमारा कोई बेनिफिट नहीं है. नॉट फॉर द कॉज ऑफ इंडिया. इंडिया was not involved in a war, but since Indians were being ruled by the British and British was involved in the war and the British wanted more and more soldiers, and that is why they demanded more soldiers. If not for soldiers, even the villagers, they should be ready now for the fighting purpose or fighting. A large number of soldiers were sent to serve abroad. Okay. Many returned after the war with an understanding of the ways in which imperialist powers exploiting the people of Asia and Africa, and with the desire to oppose colonial rule in India. So after the World War I, when they returned to India, they understood that how these imperial powers, they started using the people of Asia as well as the Africa, and how they treated them in the war and all, and that too created a sense, or you can say cause to revolt against the British rule. हमें कैसे ट्रीट किया है वो हमें पता है, तो इसीलिए वो लोग भी ऐसे सोचने लगे कि हमें ब्रिटिश के खिलाफ क्या होना चाहिए, नेशनल मूवमेंट में भाग लेना ही चाहिए, और they dissatisfied. In 1917 there was a revolution in Asia. So in the meantime there was a revolution in Asia. You have already seen in the module that how that the speech and all, isn't it? Now next one, the advent of Mahatma Gandhi. As I told you, एक तो extremist, एक तो moderates, followed by the extremists. Now when both started not working, and at that time the advent of Mahatma Gandhi का यहाँ पर advent होता है, या you can say तो उनका incoming होता है और उनका आते हैं. It is in these circumstances that Mahatma Gandhi emerged as a mass leader. Mass leader, stop age nahi, mass leadership. Aged 46, arrived in India in 1915 from South Africa. So at that time he was 46 and he was just back from South Africa. Okay, 1917. 1918 by that time. Having led Indians in that country in non-violent marches, having led Indians in that country, means in South Africa, against the racist restrictions, he was already our respected leader, known internationally. So he became Mahatma in India afterwards, but he was already a Mahatma or a mass leader in Africa, because there also he fought for the cause of the Indians when the Indians in Africa, they were fighting for, or I can say facing the problem of racism. So there he acted as a mass leader. So already that type of respect was there, and in the meantime he came to India, and afterwards his South African campaigns had brought him in contact with the various types of Indians like Hindus, Muslims, Parsis, Christians, Gujaratis, Tamils and North Indians, and upper class merchants, lawyers and workers. So because of his active, you can say involved, he already was in contact with a variety of people. So various people including lawyers and workers, etc. Mahatma Gandhi spent his first 5 years in India traveling throughout the country, understanding the people and their needs and the overall situation. So he spent his first 5 years to understand the people. What about the condition of India, how the people are suffering, what are the problems are facing by the Indians, and like that, understanding the problem first. His earliest interventions were WERE in local movements in Champaran, Kheda and Ahmedabad. So we are going to study in detail. So Champaran में क्या हुआ and Kheda में क्या हुआ. Champaran, Kheda district and Ahmedabad. Then where he came into contact with Rajendra Prasad and Vallabhbhai Patel. In Ahmedabad, he led a successful mill worker strike in the year 1918. This is just about a small intro about Mahatma Gandhi, how he came to India and what was the condition of India at that time, and how he started, I can say, to understand the mindset of people, and later on he or I can say he had his own mindset, or you can say understanding for creating solutions to the problems of the Indians. So that's all for today. That is for part 2. It will be continued as well in part 3. In the meantime, thank you and take care. Stay tuned and do not forget to read the chapter. Please underline the important terms too. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. Stay home, stay safe, and have a nice time. Bye bye.